often get lost in here. I walk tall into the cold, holding the hand of fear, battling hurdles of my own, but getting faster, evolving soul. If I can master the simple toll of stepping up to wander alone into the unknown. Get lost in here. I walk tall into the cold, holding the hand of fear, battling hurdles of my own, but getting faster, evolving soul. If I can master the simple toll of stepping up to wander alone into the unknown. I stand by the effect of the cause, because not all those who wander are lost. But the time is right to follow my nose in the night, the fight or flight to realign, to stop jumping at shadows. Should I spend my time alive, hauling weight in the crowded hive, disabled of shedding light, or seek whispers of the truth? I'm gonna get lost out there. I walk tall into the cold, holding the hand of fear, battling hurdles of my own, but getting faster, forgotten soul. If I can master the simple toll of stepping up to wander alone, I'm gonna get lost out there. I walk tall into the cold, holding the hand of fear, battling hurdles of my own, but getting faster, evolving soul. If I could master the simple toll of stepping up to wander alone into the unknown, into the unknown, to wander alone into the unknown, of stepping up to wander alone. Unaided, I'm sent, diverge once again, content with life's breath, my only friend. Hyper aware, old strength doesn't wear, companioned by the sound of the fuzz.
We are truly just now rediscovering the wisdom of the ancients. lest we forget. And it doesn't just stop with mythological parallels. This concept fires a straight shot right into religion concerning morality. Bentov's documents state that this creator utilizes the duality of good and evil as a catalyst to speed up the interactions of evolution. The term good represents the knowledge of its universal laws. The term evil represents the ignorance of those same laws. In other words, being in harmony with these natural laws help produce an escalation in evolution, and anything that slows down that process is considered to be evil. But you need both. Just like the Zen masters have maintained all along, the creator walks the middle path. This primordial first cause manages to use both good and evil as friction in order to fuel the flame of constant perpetual evolution. The more evolved the creature, the greater its free will becomes, until eventually becoming a sort of co-creator. And I mean, go ahead and bust out any religious book that you got and tell me that this isn't the main theme. A frequent viewer of this channel is probably well aware of Carl Jung's great and highly misunderstood work entitled Answer to Job. Although impossible to summarize, it can be said that Carl wanted to indicate that the suffering of Job was meant to ignite and further along the consciousness of his creator. This notion was extremely controversial, especially at the time. But keeping that in mind, let's check out what Bentov has to say about what seems to be a very parallel notion here. At the beginning, the creator watches with aloof amusement as his creatures go through the events. However, somewhere down the path of evolution, consciousness will arise that will draw his attention. These will be creatures who not only contemplate themselves, but start contemplating him. When a creature has reached a level of development at which he understands his real makeup and perceives that thou art that, then he becomes self-realized. Henceforth, he will watch himself act within that scheme, but at the same time remain separate from his actions. This is analogous to the way that the creator operates, acting, but at the same time remaining separate and uninvolved in the action. The creator will set aside such a unit of consciousness and say to him, "Here, do this." It may just be little chores at first, but sooner or later, such a unit of consciousness will start guiding the evolution of the other consciousnesses. Once he has duplicated himself, he knows himself. So he closes down his shop, absorbing into himself all his manifest creation, and returns into the void. We have to emphasize that the events described until now did not take place in objective space-time. In other words, they were only his thoughts and were not yet manifest. This sounds a lot like our Brahma in Hindu mythology, whereas we live within the dream of the Brahma. While the creator can take his time to contemplate, design, and construct his universe at leisure, to us it would appear in a big bang. Suddenly the whole thing would just be there. Again, with the concept of the Brahma, if everything is within a dream, it wouldn't be dissimilar to the way we dream. So whenever we dream, there's an entire reality, a place, characters, fictional or not, that just appear there all at once. They don't necessarily have to evolve into place because they are projections of our own psyche. And Jung has just entered the conversation. Speaking of which, wait till you guys get a load of what Jung has said about flying saucers. He was like a prophet of the psyche, comparing the weightlessness of saucers to the psyche. And I know there's a lot of videos online covering his take on it, but they never quite make the connection of what Jung said to what we have now by Jack Valais. I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but what he says about ultra-terrestrials and what Jung says about saucers is just peanut butter and jelly. I can't wait to get to it. Back on track here. After reading that, we now have to wonder what causes the event of this so-called Big Bang in the first place. This question has haunted humans ever since we first had the notion of it. But it might be helpful to go back to how we understand a normal bird's egg. Imagine that our said creator develops his own boundaries or real estate that will form his body or our world. This is like rippling the surface of water that was previously still, causing it to become manifest. If we apply our toroidal shape to the rippling of the water surface, we have our eggshell. Let's remember the magnetic north and south of a chicken's egg. Energy is being built up at each pole of the torus, just like the chicken's egg. The accumulation of this potential energy will ignite and zap between the two poles, just like negative ions unite the sky and earth in a lightning flash. And with lightning, of course, comes a thunderbolt. Therefore, we have sound. Many of you, I'm sure, see where this is going. We now have the sacred Om, AUM. In other words, the first act of fertilization has taken place within the egg. And now, hopefully, if you didn't get the omelet joke of the beginning of the video, that's become illustrated. You guys got it the first time, I know. The thunderbolt, of course, is enough to disrupt our unmanifest reality that is the absolute, rippling the surface and creating physical matter. This discharge sets our proto-matter or pre-existence, as illustrated earlier in the cream of the donut metaphor, and it erects a great column from pole to pole, and it mushrooms out at the tip and runs down along the shell, hugging the walls as it goes back down to the bottom where it is reabsorbed. We have now developed the so-called seed needed to fertilize the egg, and the appearance of physical matter as we know it. Within this seed, just like the seed of a tree, is all the information is necessary to form the entirety of a habitat for many birds and other creatures, and in this case, us and our very consciousness. All of the information is already there and free to anyone. If the purpose of evolution is to produce consciousness of an increasingly high construct, then the universe is a teaching and learning machine simultaneously. Its purpose is to know itself, possibly through us. This is where Bentoff drops us a little hint, where he says, study the micro and you'll find the macro reflected in it. In other words, if we study ourselves thoroughly, we will find the creator there waiting for us. I realize that theme is reoccurring on this channel, but it bears repeating. Probably the most important thing, period. The archetype of the cosmic egg is illustrated over and over again with a serpent coiled around it. This reminds me of the words of Christ, who encouraged his disciples to, quote, be wise as serpents. The serpent has enveloped the entire egg and now has two choices. It can crack the egg now and enjoy a minuscule meal. This is instant gratification. Or he can hold on for a moment and continue to warm the egg until it is ready to hatch on its own. And with a little patience and a lot of sacrifice, the reward of the latter is where we find the real fruit. You are this serpent. We are. And like I have saying before, you should bear the serpent with the fruit that you have won.
Let me fade away. I know there's more than only black and space. Let me fade away. I am tired, flesh equals pain. Let me fade away. Disregard my body, let it go to waste. Set adrift in space. Let my mind go to a bigger ask myself why I paint a picture of you on me. I always have and always will. Don't understand this familiar place. Can you see me? You never have and never will. I am bleeding everywhere. I walk so fine. I wish death on you. Wish death on me. Inside, exit outside. This man-made world, these man-made words are temporary. I am all of mankind, dressed as one. Drift through the doorway. This priceless secret outshines the world's gold. Simultaneous gods and worms. I am bleeding everywhere. I live suffering. I wish death on you. Wish death on me. Let me fade away. I know there's more than only black and space. Let me fade away. I am tired, flesh equals pain. Let me fade away. Disregard my body, let it go to waste. Set adrift in space. Let my mind go to a bigger place. Let me fade away. While young, I never played your game. It was never then, and it's never still. I never have and never will.